When Emily first met Jason at a friend's summer barbecue in Austin, she never imagined he'd become the person who would redefine her understanding of love. He wasn't flashy or overly charming. In fact, he was a little awkward at first, hands in his pockets, unsure of what to say, with a quiet smirk that hinted at a shy confidence. But what he lacked in bravado, he made up for in something rarer: sincerity. Emily had been through enough emotionally detached relationships to know that attention didn't always mean affection. But something about Jason felt different, even in the simplest gestures. He offered her his chair under the shaded tree when the heat got unbearable. He laughed at her corny jokes, not the fake kind of laugh, but the belly-deep one that made her feel genuinely heard. That summer turned into something unexpected. Texts became calls. Calls became coffee dates. Coffee dates turned into midnight drives where they'd share stories that ran deep into their childhoods. Jason never rushed her. He waited for her to open up, and when she did, he listened like every word she said mattered. Emily's friends would often tease her, saying, "You finally found someone who actually reads the back of shampoo bottles with you in the store," referencing Jason's peculiar patience and gentle nature. But they weren't wrong. Jason's love showed up in all the small ways. It wasn't loud, but it was persistent, strong, present. And day by day she started to understand what it really meant for a man to care. Deeply, truly, wholeheartedly. There was the time she came home from work, exhausted and frustrated after a terrible day. Without saying a word, Jason had drawn a warm bath for her, lit a candle, and left her favorite playlist playing on the speaker. No grand speeches. No "I told you so." Just space, peace, and the quiet presence of a man who knew that love sometimes means showing up silently. Another time, when Emily got sick with the flu, Jason took time off work to care for her. He made homemade soup, not from a can but from scratch, Googling recipes and even calling his mom to get it just right. He stayed up with her through the night, monitoring her fever and gently brushing damp hair from her forehead. In her groggy haze, she realized something powerful. Love wasn't just about candlelit dinners or romantic weekend getaways. It was about showing up when it was hard, gross, or inconvenient. Jason never made Emily feel like she had to earn his attention. He complimented her when she looked amazing but never stopped doing so when she looked her worst. "You're beautiful, Em," he'd say, even when she was in sweatpants, hair tied up, tissues in hand. And he meant it. He remembered the little things, like how she liked her coffee, 2 sugars, no cream, how she hated the sound of ticking clocks at night, or that she couldn't sleep without her lavender-scented pillow mist. It wasn't just remembering these things that moved her. It was the fact that he acted on them. He'd refill her pillow spray before it ran out or keep a backup just in case. There was a moment Emily would never forget. It was during a road trip to Colorado. They had been driving for hours through scenic backroads, laughing, listening to music, and enjoying each other's silence. Suddenly their car broke down. Stranded in the middle of nowhere, panic started to creep in. But Jason calmly took charge. He comforted her, reassured her that everything would be fine, and even joked about it to keep her spirits up. Then he walked 3 miles to the nearest gas station, got help, and stayed cheerful throughout the ordeal. In that moment, watching him walk down the road under a blazing sun for her, she saw love, raw and real. Not just in the big sacrifices but in the attitude, in how he shielded her from stress even when he was clearly under pressure himself. One morning, Emily caught him watching her sleep. She opened one eye and groggily asked, "What are you doing?" Jason chuckled. "Just counting my blessings." He was cheesy, sure, but never insincere. He'd support her dreams like they were his own. When Emily decided to start her own baking business, she was filled with doubt. But Jason believed in her even when she didn't. He helped her set up her first online store, taste-tested countless batches, and even handed out flyers at a local farmer's market with all the enthusiasm of a proud business partner. He wasn't trying to control or overshadow her. He simply wanted her to succeed. Even in disagreements, Jason never raised his voice. He never stormed out or gave her the cold shoulder. Instead, he'd sit with her, listen, and calmly discuss how to fix things. "We're on the same team," he'd always say. It wasn't about winning an argument. It was about preserving the relationship. Jason was also big on honesty. He never played mind games or made her feel insecure. If he was running late, he called. If something was bothering him, he communicated. He didn't hide behind vague words or leave her guessing. He made her feel safe, emotionally and mentally. And he respected boundaries. Early in their relationship, Emily had shared her past traumas and anxieties. Jason didn't try to fix her. He didn't tell her to just get over it. Instead, he walked beside her, patiently, lovingly, supporting her healing without judgment. Emily remembered one rainy Sunday when they stayed in all day. She was wrapped in a blanket, reading. He was doodling on a napkin, making silly sketches of their future kids, their dog, and their dream home. She teased him about his terrible drawings, but her heart swelled. He was dreaming of a future with her, not in a pressure-filled way, but in a hopeful, loving one. His friends noticed too. They'd say things like, "Man, I've never seen you like this before," and he'd smile and say, "That's because I've never had something like this before." Jason never shied away from affection either. He held her hand in public, hugged her for no reason, kissed her forehead when words weren't enough. He made her feel wanted, valued, and prioritized, every single day. When Emily lost her grandmother, Jason was her rock. He sat with her through the tears, made the phone calls she couldn't bear to make, and even attended the funeral with her, holding her hand the entire time. He didn't try to fix her grief. He simply stayed with her in it. That's the thing about real love. It's not perfect. It's not always exciting or Instagram-worthy. But it's steady. It's the way he'd bring her flowers for no reason. The way he'd stay up late helping her finish a project. The way he'd always make sure her car had gas in it. The way he remembered her favorite part of every movie. The way he looked at her like she was his whole world, even on her worst days. Emily once asked him, "Why do you do all these things for me?" Jason simply smiled and said, "Because loving you isn't a chore. It's an honor." And that was it. No fireworks. No over-the-top declarations. Just quiet, steady, unwavering love. Years later, as they stood under the soft glow of their backyard lights, dancing slowly to an old Frank Sinatra song, Emily realized that Jason had never stopped doing all those things. Not even after years of being together. He still made her feel special. Cherished. Love, she had come to understand, wasn't about grand gestures once a year. It was about the little things done every day. And a man who truly loves you, he'll show you, consistently, patiently, and wholeheartedly.